What's up, fight fans? This is Kirk DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Get this. Anthony Joshua starts camp next week for April 1st in London. Eddie Hearn has revealed that Anthony Joshua has picked out his new coach and will be training in the United States for his return to the ring on April 1st in London. AJ will start training camp next week for his next fight against a still-to-be-determined top 20 opponent. Hearn didn't say who the former two-time heavyweight champion trainer was for some reason, but he's saving the announcement for later. Boxing fans are more interested in who Joshua will be fighting next than they are the new coach, as whoever takes over, they might soon be swapped out for another trainer once AJ gets beaten or loses terribly. Robert Garcia, of course, was the last trainer, and he trained Joshua for the rematch with Alexander Usyk last August, but he opted to replace him after his defeat. It's a game of muscle chairs for Joshua, with him shuffling through trainers, hoping they can revitalize him and return him to the fighter that he was before the Andy Ruiz defeat. And the top the top fighters would be Zhilei Zhang, Martin Bakali, Frank Warren, Arslanbek Makhmudov, Otto Wallin, Andy Ruiz for the third time, Joseph Parker in a rematch, or Luis Ortiz. Well, first question is, I do want to know who the trainer is. But I do agree with the article, or the writer that wrote the article. I don't think it really matters who's training him, as much as who's the opponent. Because I think at any given Sunday, Joshua can pull a good performance out. So it really doesn't matter. And I honestly think at this point, if Anthony Joshua loses and he fires another trainer, at what point could really trainers would be interested in dealing with them? Because you don't replace a trainer because you took a loss. Okay. You replace a trainer when you think it was a good idea to replace that trainer, which of course you guys know that I have a poll going on right now. And as we speak, you guys are voting on, was it a good idea for Rob McCracken to be replaced for Robert Garcia? Okay. But we'll soon know that pretty soon. But as far as, matter of fact, let's look at that. Let's look at, because I actually recently just posted it. So, okay. So, right now, as you guys can see, it's only 32 votes because it was 17 minutes ago. But yes, it was a good change. Okay, 78% said it was, 22% said no, it was a mistake. So we will see how that goes or how that flows later on. But I think that the opponent is the big issue here, because I think Anthony Joshua is being plagued and being criticized by who he fought, and he fought him twice. And then that fighter, which is Alexander Usyk, is a guy that too many people, except for guys like Vladimir Klitschko and Joe Joyce and Derek Chisora, those guys are the only people beside himself that has dealt with Alexander Usyk like that. So, for people ridiculing Joshua at this point, I think it's premature, because Alexander Usyk, what happens when he beats Tyson Fury? I think he will beat Tyson Fury. I think he will be in better shape than Tyson, and I think Tyson won't be able to do the things that he normally does with plotting fighters like Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora and Dillian White, because he's not anywhere like those fighters. He fights nothing like them. So, but I think it should be a reminder, though, that Anthony Joshua shouldn't be hard on himself. Okay? And that fight is within, and AJ even admitted it. It's not about the trainer. It's about what's within. So I think he knows what he has to do. So I wouldn't really rely on the new trainer as much as what he needs to do mentally to get himself up for another fighter, especially taking 2 back-to-back losses from a guy that's probably the best fighter in the world right now. Okay, he's way up there on the pound-for-pound list. People were considering him being pound-for-pound number 1. So I think he shouldn't beat himself up so much about it or criticize himself too much about it. However, that being said, he shouldn't be jumping from trainer to trainer either. Because if he made an improvements with Robert Garcia, which I think he did, he went to the body more, and I think he just gassed out. So if anything, Anthony Joshua to me needs to work more on his stamina and what to improve on his stamina versus changing trainers like draws, counterpunch. That's what I feel. And I think that whoever the trainer will be, I hope they talk to AJ and convey like, look, before I take this, you know what I mean? Because it's AJ. He's the money man and you will be paid handsomely and all that stuff. But, like looking at a job ahead of you, you often, like I often do, question what happened with the last trainer. Any job that I take that is all of a sudden becomes available, which in my line of work, that's slim to none. But, when you're replaced, because I've had to replace people before in my profession. And the first thing I ask is, okay, what happened to the last guy? Okay, what do I have to deal with? And I think those trainers should really consider that, and look at and examine what happened between those two. And then the fact is, Anthony Joshua lost the decision. He lost a split decision. Had that split decision be in his favor, I don't think he would have got rid of Robert Garcia. You know what I mean? So I think the result for him is more important than the actual one-on-one interaction between the trainer and the fighter. Okay? So that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think for him starting training camp. I will be showing footage of these particular trainers when the trainer gets revealed. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.